Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Sandown Park here on Saturday. It is July the 7th, 2018. It's Eclipse Day from Sandown, and I'm going to look at all of the stakes races on today's program. But before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5 for more selections for race courses around the world. Going to look at all the stakes races. Those races are races 1, 3, 4, and 6. So the 1220, the 130, the feature 210, which is the Eclipse, and the 320. So let's get on to it. We have a hell of a lot of races to get to. Starting off with the opener, the first race, the 1220 post time. It's the Group 3 Coral Charge Stakes. It's Group 3 race for Class 1 horses, going for a purse of $94,500. This race is for 3-year-olds and upwards. Field of 10 horses going to 1,000 meter dash or 5 furlongs on the turf course. Top selection in this race, I like the 9-horse Different League. Gonna go 926 in the TriCast, so the trifecta. 926 TriCast trifecta. Top selection 9-horse Different League. 5-1 Wayne Lorden is on this Aiden O'Brien trained 3-0 filly. She's filly facing the boys here today. Don't think that should be a problem because she's run some decent races against them. Most recently she ran on the 19th of June at Royal Ascot. 5 furlongs in the Group 1 King's Stand. She finished 6th by 5 lengths that day. She really couldn't get. Blue Point ran a hell of a race that day, but this horse, she just couldn't get that good closing kick. She didn't run shitty, but she didn't run, a great race either. She ran an average kind of race. I think coming here to Sandown, which is a little different configuration, I think this should be to her liking. Before that, she ran the 26th of May at Haydock. 6 furlongs, 1,200 meters in a Class 1 listed stakes. Horse ran a decent third place, finished by 1 3/4 lengths. Wasn't a bad race. She just missed at the end. Decent effort there. And then at Nace, 5.5 furlongs, 1,100 meters in the listed stakes in early May. Horse finished 4th by 3 lengths. Wasn't going to catch the winner, but, a decent effort there. She hasn't won in quite a while, but, last year, she did go 5-3. She lost her last 2 races 2017 though, but other than that, she was pretty good as a 2-year-old. I like her a lot here, and at 5-1, I'll take my chances. So to recap my selections for the first, the 1220 from Sandown, it's Group 3 Coral Charge. As a top selection, I'm going to use the 9-horse Difference League. Going to go 926 in the TriCast, so the trifecta. So now we're going to head over to race number 3, the 130 from Sandown. The 130, it's the Coral Distaff. It's a listed stakes for Class 1 horses, going for a purse of $54,000. This race is for 3-year-old fillies only. Field of 10 horses going the distance of ground of 1,600 meters or 1 mile on the turf course. My top selection here, I like the number 5 horse Desert Diamond. I'm going to go 5-7-2 in the TriCast of the trifecta. 5-7-2 TriCast trifecta. Top selection, the 5-horse Desert Diamond, 3-0 filly by DeBowie. Daniel Thudhope is on the Sir Michael Stott train, 3-0 filly by DeBowie. Horse's most recent outing came 22nd of June at Royal Ascot. 1 mile, 1,600 meters in a filly's handicap Class 2 event. His horse finished 4th by 4 lengths that day. She ran okay that day. It wasn't a crappy race, but she wasn't going to catch the winner. It was just an average race. Before that at York on the 26th of May, 1.25 in a Class 3 filly's handicap. This horse won by 1 3/4 lengths. She was 1-2 at post as the favorite, and she just won a very easy race. It was a basic walk in the park there, second off the break, and then first started 2nd of May at Wolverhampton. Mile and 8th, 1,800 meters in a Class 5 filly's novice race. This horse won by 1.5 lengths. Another race, 5-1. She just had a very easy, clear, going away victory there, from a wide post draw too, which is not very, wide at Wolverhampton is not the best thing to do, but this horse, made it look easy. But she had, she had a very easy race there, and her last race, 2017, came on the 16th of November at Chelmsford, a 1 mile in a Class 4 filly's novice. She finished 5th by 5 lengths that day, and she was never really there. In her races, she ran twice in 2017, and not, as a 2-year-old, she never really ran a lot, but as a 3-year-old, she's been running very good races. I think in this quality spot, I like her a lot. With a good post draw at 7-1, I think she could run a big one. Watch out. So to recap my selections for today's third race from Sandown, the 130, it's the listed Coral Distaff. As a top selection, I like the 5-horse Desert Diamond. Gonna go 5-7-2 in the TriCast of the trifecta. So now let's get on to race number 4, the 210 from Sandown. The 210, it's the feature race of the afternoon. It's the Group 1 Coral Eclipse. It's a Group 1 race for Class 1 horses, going for a purse of just over $1 million. That's in the American currency, so don't get confused here. This race is for 3-year-olds and upwards. Field of 8 horses going the 2,000-meter journey or a mile and a quarter on the Sandown lawn, the turf course. My top selection here, I'm going to use the 7-horse Saxon Warrior as the top selection. I think he's sitting on a good run, and I think he's going to love this course here. I'm going to go 764 in the TriCast of the trifecta. 764 TriCast trifecta. Top selection, the 7-horse Saxon Warrior. Coolmore owned, Aidan O'Brien trained. Dominic O'Brien is on this one. Ryan Moore usually rides this horse, but he's here in New York at Belmont to ride in the big stakes races here we have here in America today. So, Dominic O'Brien gets the leg up, and he's already won with this horse. We'll get to that in a second, but this horse's most recent outing came last Saturday at the Curragh, a mile and a half in the Irish Derby. This horse finished third by 3/4 of the length. Set off as the even money favorite. This horse ran a decent race that day. It was a lot better than his English Derby. He closed up well. He just missed. He fought a good run there. Before that, in the Investic Derby, English Derby at Epsom, a mile and a half on the 2nd of June, this horse finished fourth by 4.5 lengths that day. He just had nothing that day. He never really excelled. It wasn't his day to win. And then before that, Newmarket there in the 2,000 guineas, horse won by 1.5 lengths, 3-1 favorite. This horse just quickened up nicely, had a very easy victory under the care of Dominic O'Brien. The horse's last victory. I think the rider switch, to Dominic, should really help this one. Not to knock Ryan Moore. He's probably one of the best riders in the world, if not the best. But I just think, when this horse, he's already won with O'Brien up, and his two best races I think have come with him up. He broke his mane very nicely at the Curragh last summer, and then he put on a show in the Guineas. I think, like I said, the rider switch should really help. Before that, this horse won the Racing Post Trophy very nicely as a 2-year-old, and won the Beresford Stakes at Naas very easily last September. I like him a lot here with cuts back and trip. 7-2. I'll take my chances with him. It's probably the best price you're going to get on him in quite a few weeks. So watch out. A little bit of another horse I think can run a big one is the 6-horse Roaring Lion. He's off a little bit of a break of about 4 or 5 weeks. His most recent run was in the Derby at Epsom a few weeks ago, where he finished third by 2 lengths. He just he needed a little extra kick going up the final hill. He just never got there, but he ran okay, ran better than Saxon Warrior. Before that, he won the Dante very easily, and he finished 5th in the 2,000 guineas. I don't think the miles to this horse's liking. I think this horse, he's bred to go a mile and a quarter to a mile and a half. He's getting the mile and a quarter today, and I think if he can overcome a wide post draw, I think he can run a very big race also. I might do, a small exacta box, forecast box, 6-7 also, see what happens here. But to recap my selections for the 4-horse from the 4th race from Sandown, pardon me, it is 2 a.m., 3 a.m. right now, not the 4th horse, it's the 4th race from Sandown. That's what happens when I don't have enough coffee. I still haven't finished it yet. But to recap my selections now from the 4th race from Sandown, the 210s to feature Group 1 Eclipse as a top selection, like the 7-horse Saxon Warrior. I'm going to go 7-6-4 in the TriCast of the trifecta. I'll do an exacta box also, 7-6 or 6-7. See what happens there. So now let's get on to race number 6. We're going to skip over race number 5 and head on to race number 6, the 320 from Sandown. The 320, it's the Coral Marathon. It's also known as the Esher Stakes. It's a listed stakes for Class 1 horses, going for a purse of $54,000. This race is for 4-year-olds and upwards. Field of 6 horses, going the 3,200-meter journey or 2 miles on the turf course. Top selection in this race, I like the 4-horse Montali. I'm going to go 4-5-3 in the TriCast of the trifecta. 4-5-3 TriCast trifecta. Top selection, the 4-horse Montali. Ocean Murphy is on this Andrew Balding trained 7-year-old gelding by Yeats. Horse's most recent outing came the 24th of May. That came here at Sandown, 2 miles in the the Matchbook VIP Henry Stakes. This horse finished 7th by 13 lengths. Weakened out of it in the final few strides of the race. Really just couldn't keep up with them. I think with a step down in class, this horse, should just run a little bit better. Before that at Ascot, 2 miles in the Sagaro Stakes, horse finished 4th by 17 lengths. field of 6 horses. This horse just really couldn't keep up with him. His group races haven't been the best, but his races against listed quality horses have been, his better races. That Ascot race was his first race since 22nd of October. That came at St. Cloud, a mile 7/8 in the Pre-Royal Oak, where this horse finished 7th by 17 lengths. The best of the best stayers ran that day. This horse just was not there. And then the Doncaster Cup, this horse didn't show up. But the last win for this horse came the Lonsdale Cup at York during the Ebor, going 2 miles, where this horse won by nose, quickened up nicely, and had the victory at the end. And then ran in this race last year, finished second by 3/4 length, but ran a very good race. I think this horse is due for a victory. Back to a race course this horse has had a decent run on. I like this horse's chances a lot. 7-2, not the best price, but you're going to have to take it. Watch out for him. So to recap my bets for the 6th race, the 320 from Sandown, it's the Coral Marathon. As a top selection here, I'm going to go with the number 4 horse, Monteley. I'm going to go 4-5-3 in the TriCast of the trifecta. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck.